Hi there. Sorry for the delay. A few things came up, but we're going to get back into doing recipes. This next one, the second one I had in mind, is actually making your own mustard. Now, I know that sounds a little silly, but it's cheaper than buying it in the stores. You control everything that goes into it. You can even create new flavors of mustards by adding other spices and herbs and stuff. And, well, it's just kind of fun, really, when you get down into cooking. So what you're going to need is some mustard seed. Now, you're not going to be able to see it from the way that we have the camera set up, which is okay, but these are very hard. You should be able to hear it if I drop some on the table. Nope, I was wrong. Too small, but that's okay. I made a great mess. They're round, they bounce all over the place. And you're going to need something to grind these up. Now, the other ingredients that you're going to need is turmeric. Now, generally speaking, I'm all for grinding your own spices, which is better flavor. Turmeric, I've only ever seen it pre-ground. I think you might be able to find a root and grow it yourself, dry it out and grind it if you really want to go to all that. The information's out there on the net. Take a look for it. I certainly don't have access to that stuff, at least not yet. And you'll need water and vinegar. And for the vinegar, you can use different kinds. You can use cider vinegar, you can use regular white vinegar. I'm using pickling vinegar. It's a higher acid, but that's all I have available at the moment for this. You could use rice vinegar for something really different, but that's just a few ideas there. Okay, and that's it, surprisingly. Now, for the measurement, this is going to seem like a lot, but you'll need a half a cup of mustard seed. Let's just measure this out real quick. Let's see. Oh darn, it's a bit too much. Who the hell cares? Now I use a, this is originally sold as a coffee bean grinder. I use it for spices. I don't like coffee. So I'm only doing it half and half here at a time because it's so much. It's going to be noisy, but you want to grind this to a fine powder. You know, a good 20 seconds should do it. Probably wasn't 20 seconds, but it's a nice powder. Just pour it into the bowl here. And I'll do the other half. Oh yeah. Now in my research for doing this, I found something out interesting. With mustard seeds, the heat in it is activated by water. And it is kind of frozen in place by vinegar. So you have a choice when doing this. I'm going to add a bit of turmeric, half a teaspoon to a teaspoon. Now if you've never seen it, I'm about to stain my hand with this stuff. This stuff is a brilliant yellow, deep, okay, that's a bit too much there. You can see here, put it in. you can get a contrast. Mike, is that showing up? Awesome. Okay. Yeah, see, now there's this nice yellow spot on my hand here. Actually, you're probably picking up yellow all around because of the damn light that we have here. Need to get a better light source for filming at nighttime. Anyways, put that over there. I'll vacuum it later. I was saying that you have a choice here. The mustard powder will take about 15 minutes in water to get to its maximum spicy level. But an acid will kind of pause it right at the level that you mix it in. So you have a choice. Putting the water and vinegar in at the same time, kind of instantly freezing it at its lowest level, or letting it sit. Before I do a recipe that I haven't done before, I like to do it at least once prior to see how it turns out, how I want to adjust things. And we let it sit for about 4 to 5 minutes before adding the vinegar, and it has a surprising amount of kick in it for heat. It was quite shocking. So if you wanted spicy, mess around with the times, starting with a pretty low number, maybe only a couple minutes before adding the acid, and then increasing it to the level that you want if you want a really spicy mustard. So anyways, and this we're going to add about 1 cup of water. And I forgot a spoon. I might have to slip off camera real quick. No, I'm not making it spicy. I just only have a 1 cup measurement here. And a half a cup of vinegar. I said before, I'm using a pickling vinegar. Something just off camera here. I happen to have my previous attempt at mustard. It came out too thick. I didn't put enough liquid, so I'm actually going to be combining the two to see if I can thin out the previous recipe. It works fine. Just want to see if we can get a bit thinner. So I'm just stirring it up, and now the second last step to this is you need to heat up this liquid, and so the heated up liquid will the dried mustard and the turmeric will absorb the water a little bit better. You kind of want it wet, so to speak. For that, it takes a bit of time and heat. You can use a microwave with this amount on for about a minute and a half on high. Should get it plenty hot for the last step. For myself, I'm going to put it in a pot and put it on the stove to get hot. That step I'm not going to show you. It doesn't have to come to a boil, it just has to get hot. You can let it come to a boil. You start seeing like 1 or 2 bubbles, take it off the heat. It's done. It's hot enough. So here's the pot with the mustard that came out too thick once it cooled. So I'm going to add this. So I'm basically having a double batch. I'm going to have to jar this. I have so much mustard. Okay, there we go. I'm going to stir this up, then put it on the stove. Because this is a double batch, it's probably going to take a bit more than a few minutes. Okay, this is ready to go on the stove. we'll be back in just a moment, and we'll go to the last step here. All right, see you in a bit.